Okay, well, let's see how long that goes. I've actually just changed ingest server back to London. See how it goes. Let's force this thing to restart as well. I don't know, something really weird was going on there. No drop frames or anything, but or anything like that. It just, my output windows just froze, and I even went and got an iPad, which is what I'm looking at now, and that just froze as well. So it wasn't me at this end, it was Twitch. So hopefully that's going to carry on working. Bubbles the Monkey, thank you for popping in and saying that. Thank you very much for letting me know. That's most kind of you. Apologies to anybody that might be watching that received the stream interruptions and freezing. No idea what it was. Wasn't at this end. Okay, so I've now painted the grass green. Which doesn't look quite as bad on real life as it does on the screen. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the path a little bit lighter. It looks a bit dark, or the stuff between the stones is not really visible, and it has a view here of being like a river with stones in it, or fish or something. It doesn't look really very good. very good. So I'm going to lighten those areas up and basically reduce the contrast. And I might do a little bit of scraping on the green just to see what happens, because I can always put a bit more green over the top. Now I think it should have dried by now. Yep, it's actually quite shiny. It's dried quite shiny. We're still working out, but those of you who are watching, would you prefer to see the pussycat or to see me? Because he's turned around now and he's laid sort of facing this way. So you do have the option of seeing one of the pussycats if you'd like. He's seriously disrupted the stream this evening, causing me to have to rearrange the studio completely. And Fear Reaper, good evening. Welcome to the working studio now. Thank you, Bubbles. I'm quite pleased with it. It kind of really does look like grass. I'm kind of getting used to the sort of slightly darker patches now and sort of looking at it from the camera angle. It actually looks a bit better from that angle than it does when you tip it up. It looks a bit odd that way. But as you tip it down and it catches the light, it sort of looks quite grassy-like. Kitty cam. Thought you might like the kitty cam. Let's see if I can get a decent picture of him from. Yeah, there we go. Now I just need something to put over this camera to hold it in place. There we go. My beautiful wife is busy taking photographs of him acting all cute like this. So there is one of the artist models. And in the meantime I shall get on with doing a bit of art, which he hasn't modelled for yet. Maybe I'll have to put a little cat in here somewhere. He can be. He's a very independent cat, actually. Tonight he came up just before the stream and was meowing at me. And usually when he's meowing he wants something, but you've no real idea what it is unless he's by his food bowl, and then it's very obviously food. He didn't want to sit on my knee, but he sort of did, and he didn't want to be stroked, but he sort of did, because he's not really a touchy-feely cat, except when you want to go to sleep, and then he wants stroking. But he just eventually just flopped down more or less where he was, right on top of my trackball and keyboard. So there were windows going left, right and centre, and I was just about to start broadcasting. He pushed the keyboard off the desk, and then I couldn't control any of the windows. I had to pull the keyboard out from underneath him, so the trackball, and everything's all over the desk at the moment. But his name, rather typically, is called Felix. And he's listening to me, but he's ignoring me. You have two, Fear Reaper? Okay. They are indeed awesome creatures. He's got very fine fur, which goes everywhere, but he's got very fine fur. I'm busy talking about him and not doing any artwork, but he's obviously after something, and he's there's something about this area that he just wants to be in tonight. It's quite unusual. It may be that I've got an air conditioner running and a fan under the desk, which is because it's rather humid where we are today. So it may just be more comfortable, but there again, he's currently laid with his back against, you can't see it, but he's laid with his back against my primary monitor, which is a big sort of 26-inch screen, which is quite warm. I've also found him sleeping on my studio chair for the past couple of days, so those of you who've got cats probably know they tend to have a favourite spot. They pick a favourite spot and they'll be in it for a few days or whatever, and then all of a sudden they'll just go somewhere else. And I think just here in the studio is his favourite spot for the moment. If you do Fear Reaper and like to post them, I'd quite like to see them, and I'm sure Bubbles the monkey would be quite interested in seeing pictures of pussycats, or at least her mini me, which I hope is feeling better, by the way. Oh, that's good, Bubbles. 15 years old. Oh, that's a nice picture. Yeah, I was about to say fairly similar look to Felix here, although Felix doesn't have a white flash up his nose. Junior does, but not Felix. Felix has like an N shape over the top of his nose. That's a lovely picture. And this one is 13. Oh, they're cute. The facial markings on that one at the moment make her look a little planning something evil. Oh, but they're lovely. I'm trying to think how old Felix is now. It's getting. Well, I don't know. I actually don't. I'm trying to remember when we got him, because he was a rescue cat, so he came from rescue. Yeah, they do sometimes just give you that just the way they look. I mean, I know we're applying sort of human emotions to them, but it is amazing sometimes how they look sort of seems to say some sort of emotion, whether it's sort of I'm going to be evil, or or aren't you the best thing since sliced bread sometimes. I cannot remember how old Felix is. Okay, let's have a look. Sorry to hear about them. Oh, my wife would love that. A ginger and white pussycat. She loves ginger and white pussycats. And she wants to get another one, but we can't have another cat at the moment. But yeah, she's had some ginger and white cats herself. She absolutely adores them. Oh yeah, the typical paws in the air, even no matter how. Yeah. I'll show her the photographs after the stream, Fear Reaper. She'll go absolutely. I can't describe what she'll go like over certainly of the two ginger and white photographs. Thank you for sharing them. It's very kind of you. Yeah, it looks like the scratches I've got on here already are quite deep, because I keep as I'm trying to do this sort of fairly little fine lines, I keep dropping into the scratches that are already there, and it's quite hard not to. I'm trying to keep go in the, you won't be able to see it, but black spaces between the existing scratches, and I keep dropping into the like the furrows that have there. And when I originally did this, I tried really hard to make the scratches really light so they didn't go deep, but looks like I didn't succeed very well in doing that. Now, some of those stones are starting to disappear into the background, so I might have to do something with them to just make them stand out a little bit more once I've done this. Of course, now that I've tried adding colour, I suppose I could add colour to this as well, but I kind of don't want to take... the main focus, of course, is the cottage, and I kind of want to keep that in black and white. At least for this piece. Maybe another one I'd experiment with colouring the whole thing. Just as this, you know, doing the grass on here was an experiment in adding the green. I'm just thinking I could have taken a photograph of Felix here and you wouldn't know the difference. Fortunately, I can't get the camera on his face just because it won't focus that close, and I've nothing off the side of the desk that I can stand the camera on, but it's starting to look like he's going to be there for most of the evening, provided he doesn't get disturbed too much. He does get in a huff sometimes. If you disturb him slightly, he'll get up and go away. So he kind of doesn't take kindly to things. Although, having said which, when he laid down there, he was laid, as mentioned, on my tracker ball, and I was trying to pull it out from underneath him. And those of you who've got cats probably know sometimes you can pick up a cat and they go heavy. They don't sort of fight back, they don't want to be picked up or sort of thing, they just, I don't know, somehow they just go heavy, they add weight. And he was doing that and the mouse wouldn't move, and I'm tugging on it quite hard. I keep saying mouse, I mean tracker ball. I'm tugging on it quite hard, and he was just laid there, he wasn't going to move. Eventually it sort of came out from underneath him, but it must have been tucked into his rib cage or something, but he was quite happy. Sorry about that, pushed the wrong button. Yeah, they do indeed have odd personalities. I'm not having much luck tonight, you know. Keyboard's in a completely different place. I pushed the wrong button. When I meant to mute the mic, I put the end plate up. Oh dear. I don't know. It's him arriving, you see. He's completely thrown the stream into disarray. That and Twitch doing really weird things. This time I pressed the right button, which was just to mute the mic. Have you heard something of you, Felix? You're going to look at all these people on the television? No? He's ignoring you. He's ignoring me as well, so there's nothing personal about it. It's too much trouble, you see, to look around. He's gone back to sleep. Yep, indeed.
Yes, she's extremely angry.
Okay, some of the stones are disappearing a little bit, but the contrast is coming up, or going. I suppose the contrast is going down, but the path is looking a little bit more path-like rather than river-like. So I may have to lighten up a few of the stones again. Okay, there's a stone there, right. It doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. I can see there's an area there that looks a little bit dark on stream. I'm actually surprised that this pussycat here isn't interested in what I'm doing, because the scratching is quite noticeable, and it's just the sort of noise that you might get a mouse making or something like that, which would interest them immensely. And he is ignoring it completely. Oh. Oh yeah, I'm kind of more absorbed in the artwork than I was in showing the pussycat. He's fast asleep now. Oh, he possibly does. Knowing cats, they're probably doing it on purpose. Okay. No, I didn't know that, but that makes sense, I suppose. They do tend to like high-pitched voices and the cats as well, so that's quite often why they'll go towards women more than men. It's gradually pushing things off the desk as well. Yep, that's true. Food, and then they'll come running if they hear food. I think it's kind of amazing how they can sort of hear food can being opened from about half a mile away. Yet they'll completely ignore you if you call them from 10 feet away. Yeah, that's one cat that's attached to you then, or was attached to you, Bubbles the monkey. They seem to have quite an amazing time sense as well for what the time is. Like, if you always feed them at the same time, um, after a short period of time, they're then there waiting for you just before feeding time. And they can be accurate to the minute almost, it seems. And it's not as though it's sort of like lighting position or light amount of light or anything like that, because on sort of dull days they'll still do it at the same time, and even when the clocks change they'll be there at the old time Takes them a while to get used to the clock changing. Yeah, and they seem to know when it's going to be as well, don't they? Especially in suitcases. Yeah. And cats have this love of boxes, don't they? They always want to be in a box, no matter how small the box. You could probably have a matchbox and the cat would try and get into it. And cases are just the same. Hello, Fluffy Twiggler. Blimey. Yeah, kitty cat. Oh, that's a pity, Bubbles to Monkey. But yes, cats like that are absolutely amazing. So this kitty cat tonight has completely disrupted the stream. He's pushed the keyboard off, slept on the mouse, and sent windows all over the place, and completely messed up everything. And there he is, serenely asleep, listening to everything that I say, no doubt. Are you just pretending to be asleep? Well, whether he is or not, I'm never going to get to find out. That's correct. I'm not really happy with this pathway. I seem to have managed to get really deep scratches in it rather than really light ones. It's still very fine, but I may have to see what I can do about it. Certainly something for the future. I probably would want to use a different tool to do this with in the future, if I was to do anything like this again. Rather than using this sharp pointy tool, probably use something like a fiberglass pencil. They should, in theory, create lots of fine hair-like scratches, and they won't dig particularly deep into the material either. Can't get this nib quite to react exactly how I want it to. I don't know what it is. He's knocking stuff off the desk now. You gonna turn the other way around, Felix? Hello? Don't look too bad, don't some of those stones? There's an odd one. Like, I think that one. Yeah. Could do with a little bit more definition. Oh yes, and the doorstep edge, really, I guess this is. Okay, bit of a dark area there, and then what I'm going to do is leave this path for this evening. Just see how it looks to me tomorrow. So I get to look at it in a different light, but for the moment I'm just going to do a little bit more now here on the roof. And on this ridgeline design, because they look that design looks a bit, well, it looks a lot dim, to be honest, compared with the rest of the roof. So you're getting his back end, but that's just how he happens to be at the moment. He's got his back to us. Is it bath time now, Junior? Felix? Yeah, he's having a good wash anyway. Are you going to turn around, pussycat? Felix? Are you going to turn around, Felix? Mind you, all you may get of him, if he does, is a shove of his front paws, but... Well, I'm not sure he's going to turn around, so just for the minute we'll just do that. And move the camera a little bit. You would do that, wouldn't you? Oh well. Oh dear. Of course, at that point he immediately decided he was going to turn around, but he's busy washing himself, so he still can't see him much. So. Yeah, just working on what is the cap reeds here that just go over the top of the apex, and they're usually cut into sort of a nice fancy shape. So they were looking a little bit sort of dark compared to the rest of the roof, so I'm just increasing the brightness. Hello. No, not on the piece. Because, you know what? What? What do you want? You saying hello? What? Let me just move that out of the way so that you don't scratch it. What are you after? Ah dear, well that may be the end of the artwork for now. Holy Custy, good evening, welcome to the stream, and yes, the cat wants something. What do you want? Are you going over there now? No, so I can do a little bit more. Just take my gloves off, I'll put them back on again. You obviously wanted something, I'm not quite sure what it was there. Possibly the chair I'm sat on. As it is one of his favourite sleeping places at the moment. He's being a little bit noisy. He's after something. I don't know what he's quite what he's after. Some cats have different sounds for different things. So when they want to food, they'll meow in one way. When they want to go out the door, they'll meow in a different way. And if they want to sit on your knee, they'll meow a different way. Felix seems to be all the same meow no matter what he wants. Teddy Bears and Ice Cream, thank you very much for following. That's very kind of you, thank you very much. That's an interesting name, Teddy Bears and Ice Cream. I wonder if there's any particular story behind that name, or is it just something that sounded good? So now, although there are shadows around here, this the main shadow is just underneath. That dark area isn't sort of black. It's not as though there's things not there. It's just in deep shadow. Okay. So one of these, that one just looks a bit off. Okay, let's just sort that out. Ah, looks better. Right, let me just zoom this out. No, I can't zoom it out. It's zoomed out as much as it'll go. So let me zoom it out that way. And then I can tilt the camera and show the whole piece. So there we go. That's what we like. That's what we've got up to at the moment. We coloured the grass green tonight, and we've made the path look more like a path than it did before. Still not fantastically happy with it. Might do some more work on it, and we've removed some of the darkness that was across this ridge line and this ridge decoration here, the cap reeds. So they've been made a lot more prominent now, and we've sort of one step closer. So tomorrow I'll probably be doing something around in this area here to fill in this space between the path and the cottage, and possibly a little bit of grass will need to go on either side of the cottage here, just something to fill in that space a little bit towards the horizon line. It still looks a little bit sort of floating in mid-air at this stage, but I think thank you very much, Captain Derby. I do like that grass. It's turned out quite nice actually, with the way the ink went down on it. I've got finished where I'm up to at the moment, so I think what I'm going to do is say that will do for this evening. We'll pick up again tomorrow night, do some more to it, and start a new section. So what I'm going to do is say thank you everybody for watching. If there's anybody watching that isn't following, then of course I would appreciate you doing so, but you don't have to if you don't want to. If you'd just like to be notified when I go live, you can also follow me on Twitter. The details will be on the end plate in a moment, and they're also below the stream window, but simply it's @Zeragonart. And also, if you'd just like to try and catch me tomorrow, then I will stream generally from around 8 PM in the UK. That's 1900 hours GMT, or very roughly it's 2 hours ago in whatever time zone you're currently in. that would be 8 o'clock, so same time tomorrow, sort of ish. Thank you all. Hope to see you again. See you later. Bye bye.